Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is the Captain speaking on Capnclydes MTG. Today, we've got more spoilers for Tarkir. So, don't forget, comment, like, and subscribe. Links down below in the description to buy some cards, support the channel, become a YouTube member, all that good jazz. Patreon and stuff's down there too. If you become a member in some way, shape, or form, I can probably hook you up with some decent deals on some boxes, maybe. Sort of, kind of, if you're lucky. If anybody cares. Probably not. Probably skipping right through this part and just going right straight to the cards. Fine, be that way. That's okay. I'll give Sawyer the hookup then if you guys don't want to be that way. So, let's get into it. So we're going to start off with Commander this time. We have the Temur War Commander deck. These are the 4 new cards. So let's go take a look at them individually now. We have Brood Caller's Scourge. 2 green, 5 colorless for a 5/7 flyer. Whenever one or more dragons you control deal combat damage to a player, you may put a permanent card with mana value less than or equal to that damage from your hand onto the battlefield. So this is not, this is amazing. Let's not try to downplay this. But it is per, it says 1 or more dragons. So if one dragon attacks, like if this one hit them, it would have to be 5 or less. If 2 dragons hit them, they're both 5s, it could be 10 or less. It does say whenever 1 or more, you may put a permanent card, mana value less than equal to the damage, equal to that damage. So, really cool. I like this card. It's kind of weird, though, to have these 7 cost 6, cost drops, dragons, that are kind of trying to overshadow the Baldur's Gate ones. However, I don't think it's going to happen. The Baldur's Gate ones appear to be a lot better than these. However, in Commander, you need more dragons that cost 7 because, 1 of each and all. Moving on. Next we have Deceptive Frostkite. That looks nothing like a kite. Anyway. 2 blue, 1/1 flyer. This ought to be good. You may have this creature enter as a copy of a creature you control with power 4 or greater, except it's a dragon in addition to its other types and has flying. So here we have it, guys. 2 mana dragon. A way to start bouncing those sweet enchantments from the set back to your hand and recast them. I think this is going to be a very popular, also a creature you control 4 or greater. You can't copy legendary dragons, but you can copy all the rest of them, which are big, huge, large dragons. And plenty of those dragons are, well, in this set. Next, we have the Hammerhead Tyrant. That's actually kind of cool. All beating down the woolly mammoth and everything. Pretty cool looking. Anyhow, 2 blue and 4 for a 6/6 flyer. All right, we're on rate so far. Whenever you cast a spell, return up to 1 target non-land permanent an opponent controls with mana value less than or equal to that spell's mana value to its owner's hand. Oh, boy. It's another hull breaker. At least this one's kind of a fixed one where it's not just anything. And it's only permanence. Like, that makes it better. But, hey, at least you can't stop spells from being cast, I guess. Sort of, kind of. Moving on. Still sweet. Next, we have Will of the Temur. Blue and 5 sorcery. Pick 1. If you got your commander, you get both. Create a token that is a copy of the permanent, except it's a 4/4 dragon creature with flying in addition to other types. Yes, that says permanent. I read that right. You can make a 4/4 flying forest if you want. Dragon forest. Or any other absurdity. Then also we have target player draws cards equal to the greatest mana value among permanents they control. This could be really good once you lay a 7 mana dragon. Anyway. Well, or anything else. Cheat something to play. That's really large. Next we have the Parapet Thrasher. 2 red and 2 for a 4/3 flyer. Not great. Whenever 1 or more dragons you control deal combat damage to the opponent, choose 1 that hasn't been chosen this turn. Whenever 1 or more dragons, okay. Destroy an artifact the opponent controls. This creature deals 4 damage to each other opponent. Well, I get you killed in Commander quick. Exile top card of your library. You may play it this turn. Very cool. I think the reason why there's extras on here, you can't, if you attack the same guy, you only get to pick once. But if you attack all 3 people in Commander, because that's always worked out well for people in the past, like people would not gang up on you for that, you could actually get all 3. You could blow up an artifact, you could deal 4 damage to everybody after you just hit them with dragons, and then exile top card of your library and play it this turn. I'm sure that would go over great in a group game. This ought to be called the Kill Me Dragon. Anyway, moving on. Next we have the Thunder Mane Dragon, red and 3 for a 4/4 flyer. 1 red starters. This is pretty sweet, actually, for a 4/4 flyer. You may look at top card of your library anytime. That's always nice. You may cast creature spells, power 4 or greater from top of your library. If you cast a creature spell this way, it gains haste till end of turn. Holy shit, is that good? Yeah, this is amazing. Thank God this is not in standard. Holy cow. But yeah, this is going to be a Commander All-Star. This might see some play in other formats that's some of the older formats, because at 4 mana and casting from the top of your deck of creatures 4 or greater, I mean, I'm not saying mono green should splash mountains for this, but I'm kind of saying mono green should splash mountains for this. Anyway, it's a joke. Calm down, Internet. Moving on. We have the Zenith Festival. This ought to be interesting. 2 red and X sorcery. Exile top X cards your library. You may play them until the end of your next turn. It also has Harmonize for the same cost. So for 2 red and tapping a dude, you can just exile a bunch of stuff. Or just pay mana for it again. This seems really good in Commander. Probably the only place it's going to be good because it is a sorcery. I mean, this might actually be really good in Modern, but I don't think this isn't Modern Legal, so thank God for that, because if this was Modern Legal, God, the combo decks would be horrendous, like they're not already. All right, next we have Become the Avalanche. 2 green and 4 sorcery. Draw a card for each creature you control, power 4 or greater. Then creatures you control get +X/+X till end of turn, where X is the number of cards in your hand. Oh my God. It's overrun with a bonus. Ugh. This seems really good, and it's probably going to be quite popular in green decks, especially elf decks. I know what you're saying. Oh, it's an elf deck. They're not 4 or greater. I get it. However, once you play a Crater Hoof, it's a whole different story. So let's just not go there. Moving on. Not to mention there's all kinds of elf lords that tap for tons of mana. Anyhow, moving on. Reverberating Summons. Oh boy. Red and 1 enchantment. The beginning of each combat, if you've cast 2 or more spells this turn, this enchantment becomes a 3/3 monk creature with haste in addition to other types until the end of turn. Red and 1, discard your hand, sacrifice this enchantment, draw 2 cards. So what I see here is when your hand's empty, a red and a colorless draw 2 cards. So we'll sacrifice this enchantment, draw 2 cards. That's what I see. This seems like it's going to be really good. I mean, because let's think about it. I mean, on turn 2, this is 1 spell. Now, in Standard, you probably won't be doing anything else, so it probably won't be a 3/3 on the second turn. However, in older formats, you could easily lay this in a 0-cost Mox. Oh, wait, there's going to be a Mox in the new set. You could lay this on turn 2, lay your Mox for 0, make this a 3/3, punch in face. This seems like it has lots of possibilities for me. Great for limited. I think it's going to be good in Standard. Might even see play in older formats, so we'll have to watch it. We have Frontline Rush. White and red, choose 1, get 2 1/1 Goblin creature tokens, not bad. Or target creature gets +X to end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. I mean, these are good abilities, although they seem kind of far apart for what you're trying to do. I mean, this may be a thing in like some red-white, mono-red deck with a splash of white just for this to pump the team. And obviously, this is going to be really good in limited. Holy cow. But anyway, probably really about it. We have Felithar, Dawn of the Azban. I said it again. Abzan. Azban. What the hell am I get that from? I swear I've not had that much caffeine, which is probably the reason why this doesn't work. Anyhow, green, black, white for a 3/3 with trample. Those are all pretty sweet. Whenever it enters or attacks, you may sacrifice a non-land permanent. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Holy shit. This seems really good for Commander. Doubling season. Oh, look, I have a thing full of elves. Lay this, sack, what the hell ever. Shit starts getting large and in charge. Yeah, this looks very popular. And in Standard, this can really be a powerhouse with all the enchantments and other things that have permanent effects that do a thing and then sit on the battlefield that you can actually sack to this. I mean, let's not forget we have, the black card that the opponent has to lose 2 life, discard a card. They like to pick it back up all the time. Well, there's not just that. There's other enchantments that come in that give -3/-3. There is tons of stuff that you can put in the battlefield as a permanent that will do a thing like creature removal or something else that you can later sack to this to make the team large. Yeah, this I think has lots of possibilities in Standard, Limited, and Commander. All right, Kin Tree Severance. All right, so this is the Abzan, said it right. So 6 colorless or black, green, and white. Exile target permanent, mana value 3 or greater. This is going to be really good in Standard because of the way the format's shaping up, apparently. However, I mean, it's going to be fine in Commander as well, but I really think Limited, that's the only place this is going to go. And to be fair, this may not be all that great in Standard, depending on how the format shapes up, but it does exile, and probably means it should be played. I mean, if you're playing a white-black deck, 4 mana to exile a permanent, 3 or greater, I'd pay that. Hell, I'd pay 6 colorless and not play these colors at all. So that may be a thing that happens. So moving on, we have the Humble Elder, 1 blue creature monk with flash. So 1/2, when it enters the battlefield, target a creature an opponent controls gets -2/-0 to end of turn. Basic tempo card, maybe see play in Limited. It'll be rough. So we got this abomination. It's Jeskai Revelation, white, red, blue, and 4 colorless. What do you get for that? Well, pretty much everything under the sun. You return a target spell or permanent to its owner's hand. It deals 4 damage to any target. You then get 2 1/1 white monks with prowess. You then draw 2 cards. You also gain 4 life. This thing literally slices, dices, and makes julienne fries. I don't know. Is there anything this thing don't bring something back from the graveyard? That's what we missed. Holy shit. But again, 7 mana instant. Whew, you're asking a lot. But if there's a deck out there that can play this thing before it dies, this is quite the powerhouse. I will definitely say that. And because of that, this is going to be a menace in Commander. So, yeah. Next, we have Sage of the Skies, white and 2 colorless for 2/3. Whenever you cast this spell, if you've cast another spell this turn, copy this spell. Holy shit, is this good. Yeah, I would gladly pay 4 mana, a white and 2, and 1 mana for anything else. Make your opponent discard a card. Draw a card from the top of my deck for a blue. Shock my opponent or their creatures. Whatever. To get 2/3 flyers with lifelink, and whatever the hell the other spell was. Yeah. This seems sweet. All right, moving on. Next, we have Thunder of Unity. So, it's Mardu, black, white, and red. It's a saga. On 1, you draw 2 cards, you lose 2 life. Pretty sweet. On 2 and 3, whenever a creature you control enters this turn, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. Interesting ability. Happens 2 turns in a row. Maybe a card for aristocrats or aristocrat style decks. But we'll have to see. And I only say that because a lot of aristocrat style decks will have all those cards that when you kill your creature, not only does the Blood Artist trigger, but those creatures often have tokens that spawn in their place, meaning this will also trigger. And then you sack that creature, causing the Blood Artist to trigger again, so forth and so on. A little bit of promise. I don't think it's going to see a whole lot of play in Standard. Great for Limited, just because it says draw 2 cards. That may be okay in Commander. So for Standard, the first part of this saga may be good enough to just make it into decks. Because let's be fair, white, red, and most of the time black are not known for drawing spells or cards. And drawing 2 and paying 2 life is something black decks would do on a regular basis. And it's definitely something that somebody playing white or red would do if they had an option. So this very well may make it in the decks just because of the first saga part of it. And 2 and 3, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, who cares? So moving on, we have the unsparring bolt caster. Uninspiring? No, unsparring. Well, whatever. Red and 2 for a 3/3. When this creature enters, it deals 5 damage to target creature an opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. That is something. This is technically removal for creatures and damn near anything. 5 damage is a shit ton. And if it's already blocked something, it's probably going to have at least 1 to 2 damage on it. So you're going to kill almost anything with this. Even with that though, I don't know if this sees play. I mean, it's going to be great in Limited. 3 mana 3/3 is already good. If you can't get the ability to go off. However, if you can, wow. But it doesn't have flash. So I think this might be a want. Next we have Dragon Fire Blade. 1 colorless equipment. Here we go. Equipped creature gets +2/+2, has hexproof and has hexproof for monocolor, which may make it good enough to be played in Commander. Now, it equips for 4. Woo, that's rough. But the ability costs 1 less to activate for each color of the creature it targets. So if you're playing a 3-color creature, this activates for 1. And that may make this very, very playable. And let's not forget, the equip cost is all colorless, meaning if you play a 5-color or 4-color creature, this thing equips for free. I.e., you could possibly have a combo where you unequip and equip this on your turn because don't cost nothing, and make shenanigans happen. So yeah. But we'll have to wait and see if someone breaks it. So with all that said, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate it. Till next time, be kind, and as always, I hope to see you across from the game table. I wonder what the arm's attached to. Probably some ugly dude. Anyway.